I had some lovely chats in the kitchen when I arrived, and I want to thank you to Mr. Jakob Herman for a totally mind-blowing, interesting clinic just here. So I want to know more about this to record things. And my profession is to make things good, but I have a lot to learn how to record things good. So I have to have a chat with him again. Just a short story. Yesterday I received a text message from my daughter, and she was in travel. She has a cat. She lives on the fourth floor, and I made a great balcony for her with nets on the balcony. And she was on a travel, and he had a friend at her flat that should feed the cat and put some water on the flowers. And this clever young man, he opened the window. To let some fresh air come in, and the cat fell out. 11 meters. But be cool. A cat is amazing. 9 lives. The cat seems to very often fix a fall from 3rd or 4th or higher better than lower. So the cat is well. The cat is well. No, nothing broken, and X-ray shows everything is great inside. All teeth, nice, and nothing broke. It's amazing. It has nothing to do with guitars, but I'm sort of filled up with this. All right, nice to be here again. And this for Snoosen the cat. It's Snooze is tobak under the lip, and the cat's name was Snoosen. Okay, let's go for the guitars. I've been making guitar pickups and bass pickups for 30 years or something, maybe. I've been here a couple of years ago at the camp, and it was lovely. So a short story was I was playing in a punk band. I from time to time do now as well, but and then I played with a double coiled pickup, a humbucker. I guess many of you guitarists use the humbucker of several reasons. So, and then the years went by, and I bought a Stratocaster with a single coil. And I noticed it was a very big difference from single coil sound to the humbucker sound. And then somewhere in early 90s, I started to focus on this one, and I made my first 2 pickups. I made a Stratocaster pickup and a Telecaster pickup. And they look like shit, some kind of banana, but they sound pretty good. So I have those on my shelf still today. So it's very fun. Maybe they will join my book in the future, or I just take a photo and share to you. And soon I started to make some pickups and fooled my friends to buy them and everything. And rest is history, so to speak. Today we are 4 people in my small factory, and we make a lot of pickups for Schecter, and as I saw here, Ibanez and Aristides and a lot of brands, and some of you people call me or email me sometimes, and I know some of you already are my customers, but but I will show some sounds today, and I will also have a small question and answer in the late in an hour or something from now, a small hour. So since there are 50 greater guitarists than me in this room, I feel a little bit awkward to show the pickups by playing for you, but I have to be brave. And in my product line, I have a lot of different pickups. I got single coils for Stratocaster, Telecaster, P90s, you know, the big single coil for Gibson from the late 40s, which has this fat mid-range sound. It hums, but it's the first high output pickup, I would guess. And it's quite popular, but the hum made it. They traded for the humbucker in the 50s to get rid of the hum. I guess most of you people know this story. And we got bass pickups, and we got slanted pickups for those pretty modern guitars with slanted bridges.
What is that?
It's if we.
Do you know what it is?
Fan fret.
Yeah.
Ah!
There we have Aristides. If you got those fan frets guitars, a very good example, with the bridge slanted. So the guitarist pretty often want the pickup to be slanted as well. If it should be a single coil, it's no problem at all. It's just slant a single coil. It would probably be a little offset with the poles, but no big deal. But when you do that with a humbucker in a great angle, it will be really off. So then you put the coils offset as well. But you have to make the bobbins longer, the pole piece distance longer, and make every part new. So it's a whole lot of work and requires a lot of parts. And of course, those suckers always have different sizes for the neck and the bridge. So it's never ending. It's never ending making new parts. But it's fun as well. How to start? How to continue with this journey? Everyone here knows the difference between the single coils and the humbuckers, of course. It's a big difference, and we have big differences in our product line. We also have small, do you say nuances? Yeah. So, and I know most of you people here is a fan of small nuances as well. So I can show you a small difference between one of our first products. It was a Stratocaster pickup 50 style and a Stratocaster pickup 60 style. And the only difference is the insulation of the wire. This is pretty nice. I got a pickup change guitar. You can take any pickup and put it in neck position, middle position, or bridge position.
Super clever.
Yeah, it's very good. It's been with us almost 20 years. So I wish I did it 10 years before, but it's good. It's good. 19 years today. So This is the exactly position. If you put Stratocaster pickups here, it's the exact position for all three pickups. To be honest, the humbucker is a bit too close to the bridge, which results in a thinner sound and less bassy sound. But we have to have this in mind because we need 3 slots to make it as a Strat style.
On this guitar specifically, you mean?
On this guitar specifically. So if it would be more specialized real guitar, I would probably put the bridge pickup a half an inch closer to the middle. You get a point, a couple of millimeters closer to the middle. But I haven't forgot the Stratocaster test. Yes, yeah. Here is the 50s Stratocaster bridge pickup. Så vi ser om vi får på det. Jag kanske ska ha ett... Vi ska se.
Ja, rent ljud.
Ja, vi ska se hur var det.
Testa här.
Var det 10 där uppe?
Jag ska veta.
Here's the 50 style Stratocaster pickup. You can see it. And here is the 60s.
10 years later. It's good like
Yeah, I would probably say that the 60s model got a tad more bass, a tighter bass and a sharper treble, and the 50s is a slightly more pleasant treble, rounder treble, I would say. I'm not sure if you hear it now, but here's the 60s model. Too much parts.
Vad ska du, som du har använt menar du?
This one. Too many pictures. So the only difference making wise with those two are the insulation on the wire. So the 50s pickup got this heavy formal wire which is thicker, and the 60s got a thinner insulation. So they changed the recipe 1965. So there are some small nuances between those two, but it's the 60s touch is more like the Hendrix sound, and the 50s is more like shadows, and of course Stevie Ray, he also played a 62. They had the same recipe from 55 to 64, so there are some small difference, but with the correct amp it makes a big difference. Small difference make a big difference sometimes. So And we also got a lot of humbuckers for vintage sound, as Heaven 57, Heaven 67, with different kind of magnets. I will take some minutes to teach you about the magnets effect as well.
You know how to make a pickup. You explained it to me a million times, and I still don't understand it. So
I can
you don't have to. But,
I can have a short description how to make a pickup of a pretty simple single coil. It's you need a bottom plate here. So and you need a top plate. Here is a cover. You will put on later on, but you need a bottom plate, a top plate, and 6 magnets, right? Which are pushed into places, and we glue them, and then we magnetize all the magnets with the same polarity upwards, and normally it's south up for the bridge and neck pickup. And then we put it in one of our winding machines, and we wind around 8,000 turns of insulated copper wire. And for the bridge pickup, we maybe have some extra turns to compensate for the strings less motion in the bridge, as many of you people already know. And then we solder those ends to the cable, a white cable to the hot output and a black cable to the ground. And then we put it in the wax bath to make the copper wire more secure and still. Because if we did not do that, it would be a problematic feedback. And I do not talk about the nice feedback, which probably all of you love. But the uncontrolled feedback, this high-pitched, uncontrollable squeal is not very pleasant. Probably some of you like that as well, but it's controlled chaos is better, right? So that's the way to make a easier, simpler single coil pickup. And the humbucker is actually 2 single coils together, I would say, but most often it got a slightly different construction. One of the coil has steel pole pieces, and the other coil has adjustable screws. I guess you've seen that 100 times. And the coil with adjustable screws often got a metal pole piece holder underneath the pickup, and it's a bigger bar magnet placed between the coils, which gives the magnetic power to both coils. So it's a clever way to make a very efficient construction. And the name humbucker is, as you probably already figured out, it cancels out the hum, which
I didn't know that.
it often comes from lamps and transformers and electrical components. So when this disturbance go into one coil, because both coils are wound in opposite direction, so they are connected in series, and they are mirror image. Thank you. Both. So when the hum comes into one coil, it actually cancels out with the next coil. But they are both magnetically and electrically out of phase. So the signal doubles and the noise cancels. It's pretty clever. No problem. It's Lundgren pickups. They manage to pull. They could take a fall. They're built for rock and roll. Where were we? We were here. The humbucker, the hum cancellation pays pays a price as well. Some of the treble frequencies will be cancelled out as well. So if you want the highest treble, it's single coils. It's the way to use. So it's like always. You have to choose. And I know many of you people have humbuckers in the bridge, I guess, and some of you have humbuckers in the neck as well, but it's very common to have humbuckers in the bridge and single coils in the middle and the neck, sort of a super strat model. And I mean, that makes sense as well, because as we already talked about, the string moves very big here in the neck position. So if you want to have a balanced sound, it's good to have a humbucker in the bridge and a single coil in the neck. To me, it's a bad idea to make the opposite. Keith Richards, he had a Telecaster with that configuration, and it seems to work out fine for him. So it's all a matter of taste. Yes, where to?
Question.
Yes, question.
How thick is the copper wire?
The copper wire is normally American AWG, American Wire Gauge 42, which is 0.063 millimeters. It's a bit thinner than my hair or yours. So, and it's very common as well to have a tad thin wire, American Wire Gauge 43, which is 0.055 millimeters. It's stupidly thin. Who works with this? Yes.
You are.
This is why I'm super interested about the treble roll-off with humbuckers.
Yes.
It's quite evident to me when I compare them, even if you do a coil tap,
Yes.
this gets brighter.
Yeah.
But I never fully got an explanation for what's actually occurring. I understand about the hum reduction because they collect the same interference and then one's wired the other way, so they cancel each other out.
Yeah.
But is it to do with? Is it because the coils are not exactly in the same position? Is it a slight phase difference between?
It is a slight phase difference. So you're a clever guy. You both ask and answer at the same time.
Go, Rob.
I mean, honestly, and also, it's another thing as well. Most often, the humbuckers got a higher resistance, right?
Oh, okay.
So the higher resistance, the longer the wire is, it sort of chokes the treble as well.
Is it like a inductive roll-off?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's correct. That's correct. And also, the coils interfere with each other as well a bit. They are so close, which at each other. So there will occur some treble roll-offs. There is a way you could make mismatched coils. with one coil a bit stronger than the other, which would get back some of the treble roll-off, but you don't get as exactly quiet humbucker as well.
I actually have that with a 86 Westbound Pantera.
All right?
And it's a bar magnet on the bottom part, and it's a pole magnet pieces on the top part of the humbucker.
All right.
So the impedance is so different, it may as well be a single coil. I think one coil dominates over the other. I actually got rid of it.
Yeah. So it's no one like compromises, right?
Yeah.
But it's a never-ending story to get the perfect sound. So I'm a fan of. Personally, nowadays I'm a fan of single coils. I play in a band today. My buddy, he plays Les Paul humbucker guitar, and I brought the Strat single coil equipped from day one, and I never changed that guitar choose, because in my opinion, in our music, his guitar is very full, very warm, right? And my guitar is pretty thin and trebly, but my licks, they always cut through. They always cut through. You can always hear what I do. I cannot do very much fancy stuff, but if with some well-chosen riffs or tones, you can hear it. And he got a great tone as well, but it's brown, big, wide humbucker sound, and I got this sharp, naughty, cutting through sound.
Staccato?
Staccato, yeah. You could call it staccato as well. So I think it's a good combo. It's a good combo for us. Yes?
So I have one question, just to demystify things for me. So for the single coils that you have here, what is the reason for the height difference between magnets?
Very good question. As you see, you have very good eyes. It's a height difference here, and it follows the radius of the neck. It's so easy. But as you see, the B or the B magnet, in Sweden we say H magnet, it's very low, but it's because the B string often have tendency to dominate, so you have to make that lower, and the thin E string, the high E string, is very, very weak, so you have to compensate that one. So therefore the radius look a bit strange. Yeah. And you can order our pickups with flat pole pieces as well. So it's a good question.
Thank you for demystifying.
Thank you.
Noiseless pickup. What's the thing behind when they say noiseless pickup? I think the Mars you have one of those.
Yeah, that's a good question. We do not make noiseless single coils ourselves, but it's actually a humbucker on the height. You make a humbucker on the vertical level, but it's only half of the truth, because the highest coil, the coil closest to the strings, it's the one you hear. The coil underneath is primary. It's only for hum cancellation, you know, so you cannot hear that very much as a power maker. It's mostly to cancel out the hum.
And it's all wounded the same way, or does it have like something in an opposite way?
That's a good question. They are probably to opposite direction as well. But the problem with those, I would say, they also cancel a bit of the high frequency. So it's a matter of your taste if you want to put the hum cancellation in the first place or the tone in the first place. I mean, if you love single coils, what's the wrong of turn down the volume between the songs? I mean, it's you got a little finger. It's called pinky finger, right?
Yeah.
So you just the last chord, and then I mean, I have no problem with this. So, but of course, if you make a recording and you can also you probably tried this. You can sit in different directions with the guitar. Oh, there is a quiet place, and no one likes to stand static on a gig, right? I never stand still on a gig, so. But I mean, hum is the way of rock and roll for me, so I got no problem with this. So. But keep on asking questions. I love to be here. I didn't know when I started this one. I do not want to be too long, so you think it's boring. Halv 20, 30. Yeah, please.
I have a question. Can you, if you hear a guitar, an electric guitar acoustically, like being played, can you know which pickup will be suitable for this one or good? Like, assume, I mean, you want to put a humbucker, can you know what type of humbucker will be good?
Yeah.
Just by hearing the guitar acoustically, so you see if it's...
I would say with a discussion with the player, I would say yes. For my taste, of course.
For your taste, yeah.
For my taste, I could, but most often it's a discussion with the customer. It's pretty easy then, because if you would come to me, and it's like him earlier. You come to me with a question, and you tell me what you want less about and what do you want more from. It's pretty easy for me. I would say very often I succeed at the first try. Sometimes it's 2 tries. But it's not because I'm good, it's because I'm good together with you. You describe what you want, you show me your guitar, and yeah. But please ask more if it's not answering.
Yeah, because I was feeling in general that you have, I mean, depending on the guitar, like, it usually has there's a way to get the best sound out of that, like, specific piece of wood, you know, like, objectively, regardless of, because then you can tweak with the amp, with the pedals, you know.
Yes.
So, it's more in that respect, I see if a guitar has a very, like, balanced sound, you know, what's a good pickup, or if it's very muddy, or if it's, like, very resonant, or some guitars are not resonant at all.
Yeah,
you have certain ones that you say, okay.
Yeah, I would say
like
so.
one guitar with a Floyd versus a guitar with a fixed bridge.
Yes.
You know, that's like, it's always going to be similar characteristics.
Yeah, that was many questions at the same time. But I like it. You talk about the Floyd, so it would sometimes thin out the sound, right? So you maybe need a fuller pickup, maybe with more mid-range peak to get the body back. And the guitar you had that was muddy, I would say I would choose a pickup with a magnet that is strong to get the trebles what do you say, the trebles pretty accentuated. So yeah, I would say it's no big deal. You could tweak a guitar or a bass pretty much, depending on discussion on the wood and everything. We've got two people here. Oh, you first.
If I said, if someone asked you to design a pickup for string separation,
Yes.
how would you act on the parameters of the pickup to achieve string separation?
Yeah. The easy solution would be to recommend a single coil for string separation. It's the easy solution, I would say. So to use rod magnets. But if you want to have a humbucker, I would probably not wind it too very hot, and perhaps use a ceramic magnet which accentuates the treble and the clarity of the coil. It's one way to achieve it. Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, I just wanted to ask how different is the process for designing a pickup for an extended range guitar, for example 7 and 8, because I suppose you need a much wider or longer pickup, which means you need more wires, which means there's more space. Does it affect resistance, or and how do you, for example, compensate, because you mentioned that the B string can be dominating the sound, therefore you lower the magnet. Do you need to do the same thing, for example, for a B string, because there's much more low end?
That's a very good question, and to answer the thing about the 7 and 8 string pickups, I would say I most often try to compensate the amount of wire. When I make a 7 or 8 string model, I would most often use a fewer turns to not get too high resistance for those longer coils, as you described. And the adjustable screws for the humbuckers, the customer can itself screw down the B string if they want, if they feel it's dominate too much, I would say. So and not to brag, but I think our pickups are well known for good tone and not the highest outputs out there, but because for us the tone is everything. I mean, to make high numbers, it could always be someone who makes this. It's no big deal for me, but yes, please.
Is there a fundamental difference in how active pickups and passive pickups are built, or is it just the electric circuitry behind the pickup that is different?
It's a very good question. Normally, at the first place, they could be quite alike, but in the first place, the active pickups were very small coils, and to compensate those small coils, they used active electronics to make the signal stronger. So there are fundamental differences in the beginning, but nowadays I guess there are some hybrid pickups that you can use both passive and active. It's basically the difference is high ohms versus low ohms. Vad heter det? I cannot find the word. Impedance. High impedance or low impedance pickups.
Okay, some people say that a 22 fret guitar has a different kind of reaction action in the neck pickup compared to a 24 fret guitar. Why is that so? And would you agree?
Yeah, I guess so. It depends on where you put the pickup, I guess. I guess the discussion started if the neck is longer and the frets are placed closer to the bridge, you have to move the neck position of the neck pickup. So it can, of course, be differences. I mean, when you use the harmonics, sometimes I guess you noticed when you use the pickup selector, in some guitars, some of the harmonics are not possible to hear in some positions because the string is just still over the pole pieces, right? So it could be the difference of just a couple of millimeters in the pickup position. I guess the question is based on that pickup position. I guess so. Is it an answer for you?
Yeah.
But I think some people wanted to put the bridge pickup at the 24th fret position, right? And that should give a better. And that's exactly where the harmonics will cancel. So I don't know.
Yeah, and okay, and
Weird to me.
yeah, and it's in some positions you cannot hear any harmonic. Yes.
What do you think about using different kind of magnets for lower strings and higher strings? Example, ceramic for
Yeah, I tried that one, but to be honest, it was no big success to me.
What happened? Why it didn't work?
I didn't feel like it. If I remember right, I didn't feel like it was. I tried as you were explaining. I tried to some kind of make a more even pickup to accentuate the treble for the wound strings and round off for the treble strings, but I had no really. I didn't. It really didn't turn me on. So, but I tried it. I think it's a good idea, but it was no big success for me. It's a cool idea. I know some people do it for the single coils.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. Welcome.
I think Eddie's been asking.
I want to know something. If the sound, if the sound change when the pickup's getting older, or if it does, and is it necessary to change them?
I think it's a very good question. I mean, normally I would say the pickup does not change very much. I mean, of course, if the pickup is 50 or 70 years, the magnets can be a little rounder, yes, a bit more played in, but it's no reason to change them. I mean, it's no reason to change them at all. I would say the opposite. I mean, I like vintage things. I also like to experiment and make new things. But I'm so calm today, and I have customers. I do not need to sell another pickup. I mean, be careful about your vintage things and love them and keep good care of them. And if you feel like some pickup would lose all of the magnetic power, we could recharge them, which is no big deal. We could load the magnets, but keep everything as vintage as possible. I mean, I think it's very important to me to be careful about old things. I love old things. So yes.
Okay, thank you. What's the difference with the piezo pickups? What is it the same wiring stuff or it's completely different?
Piezo is a totally different thing actually.
No copper and
No, it's totally different idea and thinking. So I think we have to leave it for another night because it's not my cup of tea actually. But thank you for asking. So it's a good question. Yes.
You mentioned experimenting a lot with pickups, obviously. And
Yeah.
As the owner of a company, how do you decide what becomes a product and what should be, remain as an experiment?
Yeah, that's a good question. It could be some different ideas. I mean, it could be some of a feeling in the heart. Sometimes it could be you working with a nice person, and you think, okay, let's do this. It could sometimes be sometimes it just feels right, and sometimes it doesn't turn my fire on, and it's a very good question. So it could be a number of things. Sometimes I got a name that I love. It could actually. Sometimes everything comes together at once. I got the color of the cables. I got the story. I love the tone. I have everything. It looks like it's like a movie. I mean, Grey Monterey. The Sound of Hendrix. I got the green, the yellow and blue cable, just like 1967, and everything. I mean, that thing, it ought to be a product. It just should be a product. So, it could be a number of things. Yes?
Could you please explain the difference between fudge rail pickups and, for example, a normal pickup with regular magnets like in the Stratocaster?
Yes.
What is the main difference in how they're constructed? And
You mean about humbuckers and single coils?
No, I mean about pickups like in the guitar, right? You're right, yes. And the neck pickup, it has a rail.
Yes.
And what is the main difference between them? And
the main difference between a rail pickup side by side and a standard Stratocaster pickup, the main difference is that the rail pickup is basically a cooked down humbucker with two coils and a narrow magnet beneath.
Alright.
So it's a humbucker, and the Stratocaster pickup has rod magnets.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So it's a single coil versus double coil.
Alright.
Good question.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, please.
How much do you think pickup affects each other's tone? Example, if you now play those weak 50s Strat and
Yes.
and then you install, example, Black Heaven for neck position. So do you think it's changed the sound? If you're still using the Fritz pickup, if you just put those heavy, strong magnets in other positions, do you think that it's changed?
What shall please explain? What shall we have in the bridge position?
what you have now, that weakest 50 strum.
Yes, the weakest 50s.
And now if you put a Black Heaven to neck position but don't use it, does it change the sound of the bridge pickup? Because there's another magnet.
Ah, right. That was a good question. I would say if we use the bridge pickup and this is not on, I would say it will.
Can you feel it?
I would say it will not change the sound. I would say that actually, but if you screw it up too close to the strings, it could be some string pull, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good question, and
can you try it because you have that special guitar with you?
yeah.
It's really hard to try home.
We can. And you mean I should not have this on?
Yeah, but with the strongest you have.
The strongest I have in the neck.
Yeah. And something also in the middle, maybe.
Yeah. Here we got a weak bridge pickup, a Stratocaster pickup in the bridge.
Keep for trust.
Yeah.
And now take it off.
Take it out.
Yeah.
And try again.
Try again. Play. Yeah.
I put it in one more time.
Yeah.
In the neck, but it's not on, right?
Yeah, I know.
Lower volume or different sound? Seems louder.
It changes the sound a little bit.
It changed the sound a little bit.
It's louder without it, with only one pickup.
Yeah.
Louder without.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit. It feels
Yeah.
like
Maybe this magnet chokes the strings
Yeah.
just a little bit. I know that Jakob Herman and you should have some chat afterwards, and if he doesn't move already, and I should go to Jönköping tonight. I do not want to make this too short. I do not want this too long as well. But it feels like many of you people got some answers on your questions. I see the time is 9 o'clock. I could stay a while if you want. If someone more, you know the answer. I could take a hit. But
Johan, you
yeah,
show some hamburgers also.
some hamburgers.
Yeah, show for the audience.
En gång till.
Kan du inte visa några hamburgersmodeller du har också till allihopa?
Jo! Tack. We're gonna show some hamburger. Thank you. Some hamburger now, finally. Det är ordning på dig.
Det är klart att det är.
Det är det. We got the M6 here. Vi ska se. Ska vi åka? Here's the M6.
ceramic.
This is ceramic.
Which one was it?
This is an M6 pickup. It's powerful, but it got a good tone as well. So I can try to find a clean sound here. Spela sladd. This is the serious wiring. You could, of course, split it single coil and parallel and everything, but we should focus on humbuckers now, I will promise. A Black Heaven, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, a lot of difference depends on which volume,
Yeah.
of course, but Black Heaven i alla fall. Oh. This goes to 11, right?
So what's the difference between a coil split and a regular single coil in matter of tone?
Coil split, I would say coil split is, to me, if you use one of the coils in a humbucker, right? And to me, the big difference would be it's still a splitted humbucker with a bar magnet underneath and metal pole pieces. So it would be some nuances of changing the sound, because a true single coil Stratocaster single coil is rod magnets with Alnico magnets, which has around 50% iron in the core, and this is 100% iron in the core, and it affects the inductance and output and the treble frequencies and everything.
Okay, so you will never get the same tone as in a regular single coil with
I would say so. Actually,
No free lunch.
not free lunch. All right. I will do as Mr. Jakob Herman. I will be here a little while afterwards, but I feel like I'm sort of ready, right? Do you feel pretty satisfied regarding pickups or?
Yeah.